You there, Vinny?
Oh, yeah, I muted my shit.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Joe, get your ass back in here.
Come on, Joe. Oh, they're dropping like flies. See, Valainistima was very popular. She had a lot of. We started out with a lot of listeners, but they're just leaving us in droves here. Sorry, Val. I'm driving off all your hardcore listeners. They wanted to hear that sexy voice, and they got me instead.
Hey, you don't find this sexy?
Well, you might have a sexy voice. Hey, there's a video floating around. What do you think about this, Vin? I don't know if you. I don't know if you did any time in the service. Did you do time in the service?
I did a bit.
It shows our esteemed Presidente getting off of Marine One, 2 Marines at attention, saluting him, and he has a coffee cup in his hand, and he renders the salute to the Marines with the coffee cup in his hand, in the hand that he salutes with. Yeah. So I think...
Why don't you just flip me off?
Huh?
Why don't you just flip me off instead?
Yeah. So I don't know about you. If you ever did that in the military, man, that's... Shoo.
That's what he was never military, so he has no idea.
Well, I tell you what, you have a treat tonight, Vinny, because I have got a new producer on my show that's going to help me out with marketing and production, and she's going to come join us. She wants to join us tonight. Kind of give a woman's...
Join us on the phone, or is she joining us where?
Kind of giving us a woman's perspective. So we'll get her live on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline. Please, if she picks up.
Hello?
Hello, there she is. Please welcome to the show to Talk Time with Val, my producer, Frankie Calley. Welcome, Frankie. You there?
I think you have the wrong number. There's no Frankie here.
There's no Frankie here? Is this 512-730-91?
No. Sorry.
All right. All righty. Sorry about that.
You can't offer shit. Do we need to go through the frickin' letters?
Holy cow, man. I called her earlier on this and then saved it. And let's see, 512.
I think you got...
7?
Like you were calling some frickin' grandma hotline or something. Top-rated show, baby.
Top-rated show. Oh, my goodness.
No wonder Joe wouldn't answer. Shit, you're down the wrong damn number.
Down the wrong number? I don't know what the hell's going on here. Man, I need to go through and delete this stuff. Oh, my goodness. See, it won't let me add it to that's the add to group call. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. See if we can get Frankie on here. She's joining me on the Wednesday night show as my producer and marketing manager, actually. So let's see if this works.
Hello?
Is this Frankie Calley?
It is.
Okay, now I got the right number. See, I dialed the wrong number. Some poor lady got on the show.
Oh, shit.
I had no idea what it. Please welcome to the show, new producer of On the Air with Mike Allen that airs Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Armed Radio Global, Miss Frankie Calley.
Hi, how you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great. And Frankie, this is Vinny. He's in witness protection.
Hi, Vinny. How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing great.
All right. Well,
And I hear the topic is where are you guys at? What's been going on?
Well, we were talking about moms
trying
that
to dial some frickin' phone numbers that Mr. frickin'
top-rated show.
Jones over here can't do shit.
Spilling my sangria all over the place.
Okay. So are you guys at in this topic?
I was just going through some of the women that have killed their kids and just the whole thing, and that's kind of where we're at. And I had brought up maybe it would be maybe the government should get involved.
No, but it's not just a kid. It's not just a mother.
If you guys listen, I have a story for you. A lot of some listeners may recall this story, but I did a little bit of research, and then politics actually got involved. So, do you want me to let you know about or remind everybody about the Susan Smith case?
Yeah.
Okay. It happened in the 90s. It was actually in October 1994, and I remember I was in my living room watching this lady come on TV, just completely a wreck, crying. To me, I thought it was kind of conjured up. I got that feeling right off the bat, but hey, let's listen to her. She claims her car was carjacked by an African-American man and her two children. One was a 14-month-old boy.
Why got to be black guys?
Do what?
Why got to be black guys?
Oh, exactly. That right? I mean, this case is chock full of good case for a lot of different things that you're talking about right now. So I picked the right one. This came to mind, and it's haunted me. It's just it was terrible. And then her second son was 3 years old. So there were two sons. And so then what she did is for the first 9 days, she made these dramatic pleas on national television for the rescue and return of her sons. Now, when you look at the case itself, when she went to trial, after they did intensive, research and investigators, she ended up basically confessing to letting her car roll into a lake, drowning her two sons intentionally. And her motivation, Mike, was so she could be in a relationship with a wealthy man who had no intention of having a family.
Is that the one you were talking about, Vinny?
Hell, I don't know. I can't remember the last 5 minutes.
Yes?
No, about the gal who killed her children because the guy that she wanted to be with didn't want anything to do with her kids.
I don't know, but it's not just the wives either, it's the guys. The guys get there and they end up having to babysit, and the mother goes off to work. How about the guy who put his freaking kid in the car, left the kid in the car when it was 100 degrees outside?
Yeah, I've heard of that case. This is completely different.
This is just recent.
Mike,
That's just recent.
Hang in there with me for a second, because this is actually something that I did not know, because I kind of dug deep and kind of blew my socks off. But, here's what happened. So she confessed, right? So, and then the detectives came out and said that they knew that they had suspected her from the beginning. They didn't say that, but they had suspected her from the beginning. And as an ex-police officer, I know you weren't a detective, but are you trained to look out for lies, or is that just something that you learn by doing your job?
That's something that you pick up after years of doing your job. You can just tell when people are lying.
Okay, that's what I thought. I mean, I could kind of just tell. My opinion on it at the time was she's over dramatic, and it seems like conjured up tears, and it just something wasn't right. Okay, so she got convicted. She admitted it, and here is her background. These are some facts that are very interesting, and then I wanted to ask you a question, get your take on something like. Okay, so she was actually married in a very volatile marriage. They had been separated on and off, so they both were having affairs. When this happened, the defense psychiatrist on the case came up with a diagnosis for Susan Smith, called it dependent personality disorder and major depression. But these are the facts, because that could be subjective opinions, towards their side. Correct, right? Insanity. But the facts actually were that Susan had a pretty hard, and I'm not saying in any form or fashion that this is okay, she had a reason or she didn't know what she was doing and all that. But she did. Fact number one is her father committed suicide when she was 6 years old. She never had a stable home life. She was actually molested by her stepfather, who admitted it in court, and that they actually had consensual sex when she was 18 and older. So he came out and confessed that during the trial. And at age 13, she tried to commit suicide. She tried to commit suicide after high school and also when she was in prison. So she was not mentally stable, to say the least.
Well, see, that goes back to my question. Could the government have prevented that?
Well, according to Newt, do you want to hear a quote by Newt? I really want your take on this before I say what I think. Okay, so that happened, and her conviction. So then the elections of 2000 come up, right? Gingrich comes out, and the Associated Press asked him a question, a simple question. It was like 3 days before the elections in November 2000. And they asked him, how's the campaign going? Quote, this is new, quote, slightly moving our way. I think that the mother killing the 2 children in South Carolina vividly reminds every American how sick the society is getting and how much we Republicans need to change things. And he closed his comments with, the only way, Mike, the only way we get change is to vote Republican, because violence and related ills arise from a Democratic/liberal controlled political system, period.
Well, that's kind of scary.
Like as if this wouldn't have happened if Democrats were in control. Now, what? Really?
So you don't think the government has a role in...
I do think that they may have a role, but I think...
And what do you think the role is, then?
He didn't back that up with any specific thing other than the Christian Coalition, basically. No details of what would you pass, what kind of laws. And Mike, when you and I talked earlier, you had mentioned some things that you and Valerie had thought about. Where are you in that? I mean, what do you think the government could do, or what role?
Well, I don't think the government has a role in it at all.
Well, I don't either. I thought that statement was ludicrous of Newt, but then again, I'm not a big fan. But to just say the world would completely, our world, our nation, that this kind of thing wouldn't have happened was governmental in nature, not her past, which actually, Mike, you and I talk about how our past, things that happened to us as children definitely affect us as adults. This woman needed some kind of care. But what do we do when these people don't speak out and they don't ask for help, and we don't know that they're, tending to children? What would they do? What about...
Well, I mean, everybody wants social services to be involved. They want all these people to get involved, but I'm thinking,
Yeah, the minute that all of a sudden somebody reports them for stupid shit, and then the government's involved into them, and then they take these kids and they take them off to the side and say, has your dad ever looked at porn with you? Has your dad ever molested you? Has your mom ever done this to you? And then they're reaming the people like they're immediately guilty. You have to prove yourself innocent from them. I mean, the problem is it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to have fucked up people in this world.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, Mike. I mean,